We've got a Chelsea fan here that's rung up and he wants to talk about McKenna. It's William. He's the Chelsea fan. William, what do you want to say about McKenna?
Hey guys, and I love the show as always.
Thank you.
Oh, and bank holiday special.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Brilliant.
You've been on the beers.
And no, I've been at work all day.
Bank
work
holiday?
on a bank holiday. Where are you living, geese?
And I work in retail as a manager.
Oh, okay, yeah. So double bubble. You want a double bubble?
No, pay and a half at least.
Yeah, pay and a half.
Yeah. Well, not quite, but yeah, near enough.
Go on, so you're a Chelsea supporter, right?
I am indeed, pal.
Right, talk to me about McKenna then. You're not talking about Maresca. You want to talk about McKenna?
Well, I wanted to talk about him just because, and I think it's a sensible choice him staying at Ipswich, and I think, bear in mind that they've only just got promoted and he's done pretty well there. I think it would be a shame, especially for an Ipswich fan, and for him to leave, like, for example, with Poch, it took us a while to get used to him, obviously, because of the Tottenham connection, and we've ended the season really well, but there's now a pattern with Chelsea, and if he moves to either Man United or even Chelsea, and he could be without a job within 8 months to a year. And at least at Ipswich they'll give him the time, to see how things go, and there's no sort of, I guess, rushing to get rid of him because he's got him there in the first place. And I think that's the difference, and it gives him time to develop and learn the league as well. Where at Chelsea, at the moment, which is what I don't like, which I'm debating even going next season, is like we've gone through 5 managers in the space of technically just over 12 months. Mm-hmm. And we're getting to the point now with football. Like, what is the point of having 3-year, 5-year contracts when you can just pay them off and then go, nah, thanks a lot, but bye. Like the whole scenario of, mutual consent, and you could see it from Poch, and I felt sorry for him, last season with 53 injuries, a whole new squad of young players with very few experience, and Thiago Silva now going, there's even more less experience, and the type of players that they're talking about bringing in doesn't sound like to me a lot more of experience to try and replace someone like Silva, especially when you got homegrown players of like Chalobah and Gallagher, who we really want to stay. They will look like that because of FPL. We're going to have to sell. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And it's like, I'm not specifically, but I know Topoli's of the head and he's probably making all decisions. But at what point do you go like, listen, football is not an American sport. You can't just come. It's not like the NFL. You have a 12-month contract and they got free agency. Blah, blah, blah. It's not like that, These players like Gallagher, they come through the ranks. He's now playing for the first team. He's now captain. And what, you now want to sell him for what? Does he can get 40, 50 million or even 60 million maybe? Because the thing is, clubs aren't going to now, or even more, aren't going to be paying what you want of 80 million to 100 million because they don't have it. Like, we're talking about bringing Osimhen from, obviously, Napoli. How are we going to pay him? We're going to pay 2 players then 77 million. Like, where's this money coming from?
Frustration. I can sense your frustration, William. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I can sense his frustration there, Coley. But
he's made some great points there.
Some brilliant points, particularly about Kieran McKenna, by the way. And I'm going to just say about this.
And that's very sensible for him to say that, because Kieran McKenna, listen, he's done brilliant at his level. Yeah. Now, going in to a big club like Chelsea, that is going to be hard. I think it's a step too big. Coming from a club like Ipswich, going into a club like the grandeur of Chelsea, it's so big. The egos in the dressing room, the fans' expectation. Look, you can be a brilliant manager. Don't get me wrong. You could be a great tactician on formations and tactical nous, but can you handle people of that? It's different, as you said to me earlier off air. So it's different handling someone that's on $8,000 a week that you can just drop, and he could probably be your highest paid player, near enough, and then drop in someone that's on $350,000 a week.
Yeah, it's true.
It's totally different.
It's egos.
Egos and the power, and the owners want to see their best players play. Yeah, and are the best players gonna listen to you and say, listen, you're sitting out this one because I don't like your attitude? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's loads of variable things to consider.
See, what I'll say about Kieran McKenna is I don't think Chelsea's too big for him. I don't think Manchester United's too big for him. I think I've always said this. I've said this for about 12 months now. He's going to the very top.
Yeah, definitely.
Glad it's going to be with Ipswich, but I think he could go in. Like you said, the only small question marks is the egos. But I think he could handle
people.
I think he could handle them. And what I will say, and I said this when I handed over in the last show with Ollie Klink, if he does sign this contract with Ipswich, they will be challenging for the top 10 the Premier League next season, in my opinion. I think he's that good.
That's a massive shout.
I think he's that good.
That's
Ipswich fans,
shout.
Get your calls in. Do you agree with me? Is 17th success for you? I think you'll be challenging for top 10.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.